Alright, all you moviegoers out there, welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And after talking to the maestro during the break, it looks like our friend once again has decided to give us another one of those haunting messages before the show. So yeah, we'll handle that later. Much later. But besides haunting messages, folks, I think it's time for us to kick off this month of horror with a very exciting movie from the 3MR. And the movie we have in the film tin for this week is none other than House of 1,000 Corpses. And the meat and potatoes of this said film, which I would like to say prior to the meat and potatoes, this would be the first film Rob Zombie would direct and even produce the soundtrack for. Now granted, he did soundtracks for several movies before this, but this would be the first one he would do the soundtrack and direct the film as well, which was amazing. And the meat and potatoes of this said movie is like any typical movie of a couple who goes through the backwoods looking for an urban legend, only this time it comes in the form of Dr. Satan, and while searching for Dr. Satan, they would get more than what they've bargained for, in more ways than one. Trust me. And the first thing that I loved about this movie, besides the star-studded cast, and Maestro said we might as well go over the cast first, the fact that it not only had the legendary man himself, Sid Haig, as Captain Spaulding during this film, you also had the wife of Rob Zombie, Sheri Moon Zombie, which in my opinion in this movie playing the role of Baby, reminded me of an even creepier version of Harley Quinn. And if you didn't think Harley Quinn was, you know, haha, but killer at the same time, yeah, in this movie, I think she amps it up just a little bit more than a lot of people was comfortable with. And alongside with that, you had Bill Moseley, who played the role of Otis B. Driftwood, which I think the on-screen chemistry between the role of not only Captain Spaulding, Baby, and Otis during this said film definitely brung a little bit of comedy in a dark movie in this world of Rob Zombie. Cause there was some funny moments in this film, but yeah, let's just say there was more gore than funny moments. And oh, before I forget, the man who is featured in not only The Office, but the classic movie of Super, better known as Rainn Wilson, was featured in this said film along with Chris Hardwick as well. And probably one of my most favorite people in this said film had to have been the guy who played the grandpa in the said movie, better known as Dennis Finpo, who played Grandpa Hugo, who uttered the classic lines, "It's showtime," during one of the parts of the movie. Now, I can't say it's the middle of the movie, it's more or less near the beginning before things really hit the fan, but let's just say it was an iconic line for me, and the fact that he had that top hat and that cool microphone that reminded me of one of those boxing microphones they would have before they announced the next round, like, I would say Mills Lane, but yeah, Bruce Buffer, thank you, Michael. The microphone that Bruce Buffer had, or LL Cool J had in the classic music video of Mama's Gonna Knock You Out. But besides microphones, folks, one person they also had in this film who was iconic, which was the Guinness Book of World Records tallest actor at the time, better known as Matthew McRory, who played the role of Tiny in this said film. And man, he was not tiny, he was about, what, 7 feet 6 inches? Yeah, 7'6". Incredible. And he would also be a key role in this film by eating cereal while people were getting mutilated. And one of my favorite scenes in this said film, besides the "It's Showtime" part that we mentioned to you, had to have been when the cops finally discovered what in the world the Dragonfly or the Firefly family was up to, and would play this old school song that I can't remember the name of, but the maestro just told me it was Slim Whitman with his song I Remember You, and while that song was playing in the background, people were getting taken out left and right in the most hilarious because of the music, but yet goriest way known possible. And you have to see it to believe it, folks, you really do. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review movies along the lines of Siskel and Ebert or any of those other famous reviewers out there, we say this. If you want to watch a movie that has a perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich combination of gore, violence, and comedy, all while being directed, shot, and even have soundtracks featured in it by a man who is a legend in heavy metal known as Rob Zombie, then I recommend you go out there and watch that flick. And yeah, viewer discretion is advised. It's the only thing we'll tell you guys at home who are a little bit squeamish of gore and jump scares during the said film. Early warning. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into this music, and when we return, we'll be back with more of the Indie Radio Arcade right after a word from our sponsor. So don't run out of quarters just yet, folks, and stay tuned.